Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we are going to talk about resetting password in your own app using your own screen. There are a lot of people actually asking for that, how you can actually reset your password, but not using the Firebase mechanism, but actually do it in your own app. And let me show you what is the current way of doing that. So currently, if you go to your uh, Firebase project and you go to authentication, you can actually see the email and you should be able to see the UID when was it created, and you should be able to reset the password from here. Uh, Resetting the password can be done, of course, from the app, but for these demo purposes, we'll do it from here. So if you reset the password right now and send the password, you actually you will receive an email to reset your password. And the email that you're going to receive will look something like that. And you actually have hello. So this is the default one. I haven't changed that. I will show you later how you can change it. But you receive hello. Follow this link to reset your password for the project. Blah 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 in your email. And this is the link that you need to follow. So this is actually the link this is the full link. And if you open the link, this is actually what you see. And in this page, it looks ugly. It looks not great. You don't have the logo of your app. You cannot manipulate it. You cannot do anything. So that's why there are a lot of people asking how we can actually reset the password using our own app and using for example, the screen of the app, so you can make a page in Flow and then redirect the user to this page and then reset the password from there and not from this ugly screen, which actually there was a user who said this looks like someone is trying to hijack your password. And it really does, actually. I don't know why they did it so ugly. I'm not a UX designer, but really it doesn't look great. Today I will be going to show you how you can actually use your own app in your own screen in Flow. Create a screen in Flow, and then you should be able to use that page or screen and then reset the password to your clients. So let's see. Let me show you how this works. Okay, hello from my phone. For some reason, when I'm recording videos from my phone, the audio is not recorded. So this is voiceover, and this is my app. I'm logged out from my app right now. I click on the login. So the first form is a login form. The second form is a register form, and the third form is to reset your password. So I write my email here right now, and then I will click to send the reset email. So when I click on the button, I will actually received a message which is saying, "Okay, just go to your email right now and check your inbox and check that you have a new message and follow the instructions." And then I go back to my email, which is in Yahoo right now, and then I should receive one email. And this is the latest email. When I click on the email, you can actually see the email and it says, hello, this is the reset link. When I click the reset link, it will actually go to my cloud function and it will actually load the dynamic link, and it's opening my page. And it says, this page is the one that we created. It says new password, choose a new password, and you have two fields for the password to write it once and then write twice. So you can write it two times. And the new password that I'm using is this one, UFC forever, for example. And then I have another. I'm just using the same password for the confirmation password. And when I click save, it will actually save the new password in Firebase. And let's do that. I probably should do it right now. So I just copy the password so I don't have to write it again. So when I click save, now it's in the red, but I will change that later in the video. Um, but it says the password was changed successfully. And then when I click to log in, so I have to write my name in Cyrillic, which is Dmitry Glaturov, and then my email, which is in Yahoo. And then the last thing is my password, which I copy and paste. So if I click login, and now boom, I'm successfully logged in with my new password in my app. This is my card. This is my digital fan club card. So yeah, I hope you like it. And let's see how you can actually do that by in the second part of this video. Okay, so let's begin. The first thing that you need to do is actually create. I'll use the same app, the Newcastle Bulgaria Football Club, because I'm a fan of Newcastle United. And I'll use the same app as I did like many times, like in the Stripe subscription video as well, if you haven't watched that already. And then this password, you need to actually create first a screen on your Flow app, which we'll call reset password or something like that. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you how you want to call it. And then it's very important to have the routing. So it's very important that you know the routing. Of course, you can always see it and you can copy it, but just keep in mind you have to name it something relevant, like reset password or reset pass in my case, or something like that. You don't need to require authentication, of course, because the user will not know his password or her password. So it will be impossible to have authentication for this website. And this website actually will be only visited by a dynamic link, just like in the video I did for Stripe subscription. There should be no link in your app linking this page with your actual app. You can actually go from this screen to another screen. This is okay because this is totally okay. This is totally fine. But you should not be able to go to this screen again because there is no need to, because in order to go to this screen, we're actually going to use the page parameters. So the page parameters that we're going to use are four. We have mode, which is string. We have OOB code with capital C, which is string. This is the most important one. The second one is the most important one. You have to definitely have it and just write it the same way that I did here. And then we have the API key. This is also the second thing that you definitely have to have it. And then the last thing is the language. And the language should be changeable as well. So in theory, you should be able to actually have a language that is changeable. Because this will be, like in my case, Bulgarian, but you could be like English, or you can have like a multiple languages. It doesn't really matter. It will actually be passed. The language will be passed with your resetting password. So this is the first thing. Everything is string. Uh, you I will advise you to not put default value for the OOB key, because if you don't have an OOB key, you should get an error actually. I think I didn't set up an error, but you should get an error because the OOB key will not work. Or I think I did actually set up an error. We'll see that. So, like I said, first thing first, create this page, make the parameters mode, OOB code, API key, and language. And when you're done, the second thing after that, you have to actually go. So when you're done setting up this page in your UI, the second thing is to go to Firebase, go to your project, click on authentication, and then click on templates. So when you click on templates, you can actually see all your templates. It's regarding emails, like email address verification, for example, password reset, email address change, and so on and so forth. So you can actually see all the emails. So we are actually going to change the email link. And here you can actually change anything that you want to. You can change the text. You can also change the language from here, and you can actually change anything related to the password reset or other emails. And you can also change the send verification, SMS verification. It says code is your verification code for, and it says the app name. You can also change that. And we will actually change this this link that the user is clicking on. But before we actually do that, we need to push a function. We are going to use cloud function for that, and the reason is that if you're using a normal dynamic link, and those parameters will be embedded into the link mode, OOB code, a language, and so on and so forth, it will actually be like working in the main. It will be like in the main link, and it will be not in the it will be not considered as the link that the user will click. So if you're using it directly, you get some problems, and that's why we need to actually use cloud function for that. So we need to create, like I said, the cloud function. And the cloud function that we're going to create, in my case, it's redirector. You can, of course, name it like password reset or something like that. It will be of the type webhook. And before we create this web function, this cloud function, make sure that you actually watch a video about that, because I already did a video. Let me show you what I mean. I did a video, and the video says kickstart your Firebase Cloud Functions journey with Flow step-by-step tutorial. So make sure you actually watch this, because if you haven't set up your environment, we cannot actually continue, because right now we will actually move to the next step, which is open the terminal. Okay, so now we are inside the terminal. You should have, by watching the video that I just showed you, you should actually have a Firebase folder, and then you should have something like functions. You should go there. I think in all Linux, Windows, and Mac, you can just cd to that. You can just write cd, and then the name of the folder, and then functions. So when you're inside functions, you should be able to create a new index file if you already don't have an index file. If you have an index file, let's see if I have an index file. I already have an index file, as you probably can see over here. I can actually rename this index file. In Linux, I think I can rename the index file with move. So I can just say index. I'll just rename it to index, let's say 3, and then click enter. So if I now dir, in Windows, it will be dir, like directory. And then if I list my files again, you can actually see that I don't have index anymore. You should have only one index, and when you're pushing your cloud functions, just create one index for each individual cloud function. And when you're deploying your cloud functions, I will actually deploy the functions one by one. You can actually put all your cloud functions in one index file in theory, but I'm not doing that, because I want my cloud functions to be separated. So that's why I'm doing them like that. And now we have to create a new index file, index.js file. And in Linux, I'm just going to do that with Nano. But you can actually use any text editor out there. It could be Notepad. It could be, I'm using Sublime actually as well. But because I'm recording my text editor, I want to keep my text editor, sorry, not text editor, but I mean, of course, a terminal. So I want to be inside my terminal. That's why I'm using Nano, because Nano is a text editor inside the terminal. So if I click enter, I see a blank thing, blank file, which is, of course, what we need, because when you first open this file, it will be blank, of course. We just created it. And then here, the code I'm going to paste, it will be available in my GitHub repo. But what is the idea of the code? So first of all, we will get, this will be, the trigger will be a webhook, and the webhook will be webhook, sorry, it means that it will actually, when this page is visited, we will do something about it. So in our case, we'll change this page to be used in the template. So when a person visits this page, it will actually take all the parameters that we need, for example, mode, OOP code, API key, and language, and we'll actually we'll encode those parameters to actually be used in our app. If we don't do that, those parameters will be not available to be used in our app. And then we have the dynamic link over here. So the dynamic link over here is very simple dynamic link. Again, I recommend you to actually watch my video. I will try to post that a link to my description. I will just show you later when we're outside of this terminal. But you have to put your dynamic link. So this is your dynamic. It's a simple dynamic link, and will end with the link. So it will end on %, on end symbol, and then link, and then equals to. So make sure that it ends with this, and your here it will be your dynamic link, which you can get from Firebase. This will be your domain. You don't need it in theory, and then this will be your package, which you can get from the settings, from Flow settings. This will be your package name, and this will be your package name as well. My case is bg.ufc.ufc, but in your case, you just put your package name there. Okay, great. And then we have the target link, which is your deep link. So the deep link is actually consists with your dynamic link. And then this is the most important part. You need to put the route to your page. In my case, if you remember, my routing was reset pass with a capital P that you need to, if you have capital lower cases, you have to do that as well here. So this is very important. And then it is actually taking, like I said, all the 4 parameters, that those parameters are going to be coming from Firebase console. You don't have to do anything about it. And then when it's taking all the 4 parameters, it will actually encode those parameters. And like I said, if it's not encoded, it will actually not work. And it will actually combine the dynamic link plus the encoded parameters. And then using Express, it will actually redirect your page there. And this is the code. Like I said, this code will be available in my GitHub and in my page as well. So if I click Control X right now and click yes to save it, I'm going to save it. And then we actually need to install Express. So we have to do npm and then install, and then we need to install Express. Like that. npm install Express. Click enter, and it will start installing the Express. Express actually, it's going to redirect the page, when a user visits this page, it will actually be redirected directly to your app or to your screen, and actually it will actually use those parameters as a page parameter as well. So when you're done this, the next step is to write Firebase deploy dash dash and then only functions. And when you click enter, it will actually deploy your function that we just created. And you have to wait a little bit, and it will actually ask you to do you want to uh, delete the other cloud functions that you have already? In my case, there are 4 cloud functions that I already have, and the default is no. So just click yes. So just click enter here, not yes. Don't write yes. Just click enter or write no and then click enter. I will actually not do it right now because I already did that for my cloud function. But like I said, just click enter here if that means no, or just click N, which means no, and then click enter, and it will start deploying. And when the function is deployed, you actually see the function is deployed successfully. And when the function is deployed successfully, you can actually go back to function. So let's go back to the Firebase console. Before we dive into the Firebase consoles, I just want to let you know that this is the video I was talking about. It's called Firebase, how to manually construct a dynamic link. And this is how you can actually understand what is about a dynamic link and how you can actually manually do it and put it in the code. And then when you're done with that, let's go to the Firebase console. You should be by now deploy the function. The function name in my case, it says redirector, but you can change the name of the function in your code. But it says, so let me show you where you can change the name of the code. So this is the code that I just show you, and where it says here exports and then dot redirector. This can actually be changed. This can be changed to something like reset password or something like that. And then this will be actually the name of the function. But you should actually do that before deploying the function, because if you deploy it, you have to, when you change the name, you have to redeploy it again, and you can actually delete this function because you have 2 functions. And when you're ready, you should see the trigger, and in this case, it's cloud HTTPS, which means webhook. And then I'm actually getting we should get this link, and we can actually, I think we can copy and paste it, right? So we can just copy this link. So we need this link, copy this link, and then go back to authentications, and then click on templates, and then click on password reset, and click on the editor, the note, the pencil, icon, and then customize action. So I already did that. I already pasted my link. You can see actually it's the same link like you see it over here. Just paste this link over here and then click on save. So another thing important to know is that this will actually change the link for your email address verification and for every email that it's being sent. So you should actually make sure that you supply like an extra parameter or something like that to actually know that your email is verified. You can actually use the same logic to using parameters and changing the cloud function to actually redirect to the right place. Because right now it's redirecting. You can actually see here, right now it's redirecting to reset password, but you can actually set a parameter which will be actually checked over here with if and else. And if it's resetting the password, it will go to this link. But if it's, for example, verifying your email, it will go to another inner page in your app. So you can do it like that. So make sure that if you're using the other templates, you can do it like that. I'm actually not using the other templates, so that really doesn't matter for me, but you can do it like that. And when you set up this link, when you're ready with the deployment and you set up this link, you're actually good to go. I always advise users to actually test the dynamic link before that, before to see if it's working. And if you actually go over here and you have this dynamic link uh, and with this link over here, so combine those two, combine this link with this link and just send it. I'm actually using Telegram. I'm sending this link. I will combine this link and send it to Telegram, and then I will just click on the link from my device, mobile device. But make sure that if you just created this page, make sure to deploy the latest version of your app in your phone, or else it will not work. Of course, you need to have this page in your phone, or else it will not work. So I will actually send this link to my Telegram. I will click on this link and I will see if actually I'm able to open the page reset password, just simply opening this link. And if this works, then everything should be good to go and everything should be fine. Now, like I said, a good resource is this video that I did. And actually, I did another video, which is test and debug your way to app uh, excellence, mastering deep link and dynamic links. This is another resource that can be very helpful for you guys as well. So let's just say the workflow one more time. And let's go back to Flow. We are done with the cloud function. We are done with the cloud function. We're done with setting up the template email. So when a user clicks from our app to reset the password, it will receive an email with the link. When the user click the link, it will actually be sent to our cloud function link or cloud function webhook, and then it will be using the dynamic link. It will be sent over here to our page, and those are the 4 parameters that are going to be used. And then the last thing that we have to do is actually we need to set up the API call, and the API call is for Firebase Authentication, and then this is the base for the API. And now I just wanted to actually show you. I just want to show you what is the docs, because I think the docs is very helpful for you to just visit and see what you can actually do using the documentation. And this is the actual doc, and you can actually see on the right over here that you have set up email, sign in with email, sign up with email, sign up autonomously. You can actually do all those things using API calls only. So in our case, I think it's the one that we're using. It's change password. So if I click on change password, you can actually see that this is a post method. This is application JSON. This is the link that we're going to go to, and then those are the parameters. But let's go back to the actual API code that I created. The name I did, it's Firebase Out Reset Pass. This is the whole link. Like I said, the link it's coming from the documentation, and it's reset pass, and then the API key. So where the API key is coming, the API key is coming from your Firebase. If you click on your Firebase console, click on project settings, and then you see the web API key. It's the 4th element. You able to see it. I will not actually show my API key as it's a security risk, but this is where you get it. It's around 20 lower cases and upper cases, letters, and digits as well. So you can just know how it looks like. And then we'll have for the headers, we'll have this content type, application JSON, and for the body. And let's go first actually to the variables. So for the variables, this is the application key. You can actually see a part from my application key. And then we have the OOB code. So make sure that you put the same names that you see over here with the lower and upper cases. This is API key with the capital K, and this is OOB with the capital C, OOB code. And this is all strings. And I put my API key here by the default value because it will actually it will be not changed. So that's why I put it like that. And then we have the new password, which is a string. And then if I go to body, the body is like that, OOB code, and then this is OOB code. Make sure that you write everything that you see it like that. And then if you click format, it will actually if you don't get any errors, it will actually mean that everything you set up is good. If I, for example, have a comma here and click format, I will get an error, and it will say that there is something wrong with this format of your JSON. So make sure you don't have any errors when you click format like that. And then the last thing is that so the last thing is actually go to the test mode, and we have a random OOB key here and my new password. So if I click on test, it's saying that I have an invalid OOB code, which is normal because this OOB code it's already expired. So let me actually create a new OOB key. You can actually do that by going to the Firebase console, go to authentication, go to users, find your user, and click on reset passwords. So when you click on reset password, you should actually receive an email. And when you look at the link, you should be able to extract the OOB key from the link. So let me show you what I mean. So this is, for example, my link, and this is how it looks, my link. And this is the OOB key. So the key that I'm going to use right now, it's until here. So it's from the equal sign until the end symbol. So copy everything that you see between those, go back to further flow, and then paste it over here. And then write whatever new password that you want. And then click on Test API Code, and you should actually see the status 200, and you should see kind identity 2, reset password response, the email, and then the password that is being reset. And then if we go back to the widget tree, and the last thing that we have to do actually is to configure that when you use the button to reset the password. So we have, in my case, I have 4 actions, but 2 of those are show snack bar. So the first action is actually to reset the password. And we only need the OOB key, and the OOB key will actually come from the page parameter. So if you remember, we have the OOB key in the page parameter over here. We're taking the OOB key, and we're taking the OOB key using the dynamic link from the cloud function. So everything is connecting over here. So we're taking the OOB key. And the new password, it's very simple. We're actually getting this from the widget state. So we're getting from the widget state, and we have 2 fields for the password. But in theory, actually, you can actually have only 1 field because you want to use only 1 field. But if you want to have 2 fields, you should have a conditional statement to verify or to check if the both passwords are the same, and then use the one of all of them if they are the same, of course. But like I said, you can only use 1 field if you want to. And then if this is false, if something goes wrong, you get this you get a message like something goes wrong, or for example, your OB key is expired because there's some time that I think like 10 minutes or something like that. You can use the OB key. If there is more than that, you get an error. And another thing is that when it's successfully, I'll actually change this to green because it makes sense to be green and not red. And it will say your password was changed successfully, and I'll actually navigate back to the main menu, and I'll reset. I don't want to go back to this page, so I'll just disable auto back navigation. So that's it. I hope you liked my video. And before you go, so thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that was helpful. Please visit this page if you want to get the code from the current video that you just watched. And you can actually get the code. You can actually change change the, for example, the collection name or the field name or the app state. In this case, this is the app state, so I'm using is recording, but it can be something like recording, and it will actually change the code. You probably see it over here. It will actually change the code wherever you write, and then you can copy it, and then you can use it in your app like that. You can copy it, and then you can use it in your app. You can paste it in your custom. In my case, this is custom widget. And then you can actually copy the widgets as well. And please support my work in GitHub. You can book me as a mentor as well using Calendary. We also you can subscribe to my channel, of course, and you can get my GitHub repo. So all the codes will be available there. And now you can actually join my Discord channel. So in my Discord channel, actually, I set up this channel. If you have any preferences for the future videos or future tutorials, let me know and just click on this Discord channel. And yeah, just write them over there. So thank you very much again and have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.